Welcome to Photoshop Elements Weekly. This is episode number 7. And in this week, we're going to be talking about cleaning up a picture, also removing some glare from glasses. We're going to be talking about straightening up a picture that, could be taken and be a little crooked one way or the other. And we're also going to look at how to remove shadows and do some color changing. And then I did have a tip from a viewer this week with an email, which is wonderful. So I'm going to also show you that right here on Photoshop Elements Weekly. Let's go ahead and get started. Okay, gang, very good. It looks like everything came right back up this time. If you noticed, last week we had a little bit of trouble with audio. And I guess the primary issue there was, when I have the audio set up and how the audio actually comes back is where it was at. And that was the issue we had. Remember, if you're new to the show, you can definitely Skype in here. You can Skype to Jack's Tech Corner or pick up your cell phone and just call us at 724-701-0911. Be glad to talk to you about Photoshop Elements. Any questions you might have about digital photography also, we can cover that. So it'd be great to hear from you. It's always nice to get some dialogue out there and going with you guys and girls to see that you're calling into the show and checking things out here with us. So as I said, this week we're going to be touching on a few different topics here. The one was a very interesting email I received. And it was about the show we did last week when we were installing the actions. And I showed you that you can do a reflection with one of the actions. Well, that was great, but the viewer actually said, Jack, look, you can actually do that with a few mouse clicks, and you can make a reflection very simply by using one of the quick or guided edit tools. And I remember doing a video on that a while back. So we're going to touch base on that today also. So let's go ahead. First of all, we're going to jump right into these as we do every week here and get started. Let me find my first picture we want to work on here. And we'll go ahead and get started on these. Got to get a little bit more comfortable in the chair here. Don't end up getting a backache after being sitting here for about an hour. Also, just so you know here, we did throw another camera angle up here. We do have a backwards angle on the studio here now, which I don't know. I don't know what I'm using that for right now. We have the side angle here once again, just to let you know all the cameras are working this morning. And I like to do this also just to check the audio. So there we go. Okay. This is the first picture we're going to work on this morning. And this evidently, or you can probably tell, is a prom picture, right? But what we want to look at this particular prom picture is, actually I'm going to revert this because it looks like my edits stayed, I believe. Yeah, there we go. And what we're looking at here on this particular picture is we're looking at the shadow in the background because, when you take a flash and you shoot that flash straight on at somebody. Now, I was using a on-camera flash, but I was using the or some people call it an off-camera flash or a flash accessory, but it was on the hot shoe, and I actually took the flash and I shot it up to the ceiling. Now, matter of fact, let's talk about that. And when you're looking at buying any accessories for your cameras, folks, you got to look at what you're buying, and you got to know what you're grabbing hold of there and what you're going to be using. So I'll pull my ears off with these headphones. Okay. Let's talk about this for just a second here. This is what I'm talking about. This is the flash that goes on with your hot shoe right on the bottom. It's probably one of the greatest investments you're going to make for your digital SLR camera. And the reason that is, if you can see here, ordinarily most flashes shoot like this. That's where we start getting all the red eye, right? We get the flash straight into somebody's eye. So we can take this flash, what I did with this shot, and it's a very white room you can see. That's what I was shooting in there. It's very, very white and very reflective. But I take the flash and I shoot it like this. All right, that's called bounce flash. So what you're doing is you're actually shooting the flash off the ceiling, and you're encasing your subject or object there in the flash. That's what you want to do. So you want to get them encased in the whole flash there. That's the whole purpose behind that. So I don't know how I got a shadow on this really. You know, I'm very, very careful with shadows. I don't like getting them because I hate spending time to clean them up. So that's what we're going to look at right now is how would you clean that up? It's not hard. I had more trouble around this girl's face here. Let me get back onto the screen. I had a lot more trouble around her face right here than anything, trying to clean that up. So I actually just left it for natural lighting. I just left it just to look kind of natural, right? We don't want to make it too apparent. And if I could fix it, I would. But even when I zoomed this up, I had a lot of trouble trying to get in here to try to fix this because the way her hair is also going through the shadow. So what I was coming up with was I was coming up with some brown around that shadow, and I couldn't clear it all out. It kept wanting to duplicate her hair is basically what was going on. So I did have a lot of luck taking care of the boy here sitting beside her. I had a lot of luck taking care of his shadow, and I'm going to show you how I did that. If you go over here, you have the spot healing brush, and we have the clone stamp tool. Now I'm sure you've probably seen both of these in many of my videos, but we're going to show you again. The clone, or the, hold on here a minute, the spot healing brush, up here at the top has a little checkbox that says content aware right here. What that means, and this was new actually to Photoshop Elements 8, what content aware actually means is that you can pull down over something, and as you do, it's going to pick up the content around it. So if you go down like this, you can see there it picked up the white and it started to get rid of some of that shadow. Now I found that this was working okay. It usually works better if I'm trying to remove something within contrast. But being it's a shadow, I found that the clone stamp tool was actually doing a better job for me. Now the clone stamp tool, all you got to do is hold your Alt key down on either keyboard. So this one's easy. On either the Mac or a PC, you simply hold the Alt key down and you'll see a little bullseye. You see it change to a bullseye there on your screen. You click and then you can just come over that. And I always tell people, don't try to do too much at once. You know, you don't want too big of a coverage. I mean, get as much as you can at one time. But you can see this way how it's actually covering. And I'm just left clicking my mouse and I'm pulling down very easily. You can see here now how it's picking up some of his shirt, and that's because we have it too big. We're picking up too much of the area there. So let's we can go back a couple here, right to about there where we were. Now we'll do it again. We'll just try to come right up in here, around top of his head there a little bit more. Just come down here. Like I said, just get the bulk of that shadow out there just to make it look better. You can probably get some of this out now right here. Try not to get too close down to his jacket because now we're going to start picking up some of the jacket there. You see right there how her hair comes up? Get back here. You have to take your time on this, folks. Photoshop and editing is not something that you're going to rush. The thing I don't like about taking prom pictures that I found is it's very rushed. I don't know if you folks had any kids yet go to the prom and you took any pictures of them, but it's very, very rushed process, and I don't like that. The kids are all dressed up. The guys are very, very hot. We were in somebody's game room. Not a lot of air moving, and the kids, what did the kids want to do? They just wanted to get going, right? They wanted to get to the prom, the grand march, and all the hoopla, and they wanted to get moving there and get to the prom, so that was the key. So we don't have a whole lot of time for pictures, so you take what you take, bring them back and get them up on your editor and start to clean them up a little bit. Okay, now that we got that taken care of, we got that working there pretty well. Now if we go to view and fit the screen, you'll notice now, if you can see that pretty well there, you'll notice now that in the background there's not as harsh shadow back there behind him. It actually looks more cleaned up, and that's what we were hoping for. We were hoping to get that cleaned up a little bit. Now over here on the other side, like I said, if you blow this up again, you may be able to get some of her shadow. You may be not able to get some of it. I mean, it's hard to tell. You just got to work on a little bit. Without picking up any of her hair. You don't really want her hair in there. We'll just get rid of as much as the shadow as we can. And that's the key right there, is just to get rid of as much as you can, right? Okay. Well, we cleaned it up a little bit there. Now if you want to shoot over here, alright, get some of the gray wall. Make this a little bigger here and try to get down right through here. And there you go. I think the one thing the prom does indicate is that the school year is about over. I think that's the important thing with the prom. Okay. Let's go ahead and view, go fit back to screen. And there you go. So now we got some of her harsh shadows out. You can see it going on there. Looks pretty good. I can live with that a little bit. The thing now I thought we would do, and we're going to do this on another picture also, so you'll see it twice, is to actually straighten the picture out. Now there's tools built into Photoshop Elements to do this, but I've always done it by hand. So again, I'm going to show you how to do that by hand here. So just go to rotate. So you can go down here, straighten and crop image. I'd rather do it by hand. Do a free rotate layer and take this and actually turn it. We're going to straighten them out a little bit. You can usually judge it. It's kind of weird there how that wall is. And what I'm talking about here, if you can see the back, there's a corner back here where the door is. I would normally go with that door and put that door straight up on a vertical. But you also have this side over here in this corner, which is going to push it down. It's just the way it's, I mean, the room was very straight. It's just the way that it looks. So we're just judging these folks here. And what I would suggest to do with a picture like this with that wall and with that door frame and this being on his head, maybe what we can do here is we'll do a crop. You're going to have to crop anyway now, because what happens is on the left and on the right side of the picture, you're going to have a transparent layer. It's not going to print, or worse yet, it's going to print white. So there's going to be an issue there. So use your crop tool and crop it out. We're going to try to crop it down a little bit. I'll come down here. This is a little bit of a bummer here because we're going to lose some of her flowers, just a little bit. And just maybe pull it over just a little bit more. Click OK. There you go. A lot better shot that way. It looks a lot cleaner. And maybe so you didn't have this coming out of his head, this may be a great place for the content aware. That was weird. My Skype just quit for no reason. I just think we got a contact request here. I'll do that later. Let me grab this and accept this contact request here in case we got somebody wanting to call into the show. Okay, we see his online. That's good. Okay, so we straightened that out. We squared it up. What I was just talking about here, we're going to use the spot healing tool right here. And right above this, you never want to take a picture and have something here. I'm going to try to blow this up so you guys can see it closer. Let me see if I can blow this up a little bit. Yeah, you can see, you could be able to see it now on your screen, I'm sure. I don't watch this stream live anymore because I've had a lot of problems with latency, and you guys start getting, it starts locking up and buffering, and I don't want that to happen, so I don't watch it. So please, anybody out there that is watching it, if you have any troubles, if the audio goes off or anything happens, let me know. But what I'm doing here is we do have DLL347 in the chat. You did say hello, and hello to you there. Just going to get through this tutorial. But what we're looking at here, look on top of their head. Whenever you have a picture and you have something sticking out of somebody's head, right? And I took a really, really nice set of wedding pictures before, and they were outdoor. And I wish maybe I'll have it for you for next week. I'll be able to show this wedding picture to you. When I showed it to somebody else, they said, "My God, Jack, you have a cross sticking out of the top of the bride's head." When you take it, sometimes you don't realize that to be the case. But I did. Sure enough, I had the cross sticking out of the head. So we're going to fix that right now with the spot healing brush. Remember, the content aware is turned on, we talked about. We should be able to go up here and just pull right over that. And we just get rid of it that quick. Now it is no longer sticking through his head. Who cares if anybody sees a hinge on the door, right? It's a door. It's assumed that it has hinges, but we weren't taking a picture of that anyway. Now let's fit it back to screen. Now you can see that that picture is a lot better. It's a lot clearer. It's a lot better looking. All right. Now the next part of this tutorial, I wanted to show you how we can look at different color. And I thought, wow, prom gown is a great place to do it. I've also done this with cars, just to see if you want to paint your car or your truck and see what color you want it to be. So let's go ahead and do that. We're going to make a selection. And you guys know already I like using the quick selection tool. We add it here. We are going to select from her dress is what we're going to select. Just like so. Get the whole dress. Make sure nothing else is in there but the dress. Put my flash back here. I keep kicking plugs. Hope I don't pull any plugs out underneath the desk. Somebody needs to invent a full wireless computer. Everything's wireless. I mean, mine, I got the keyboard, mouse is wireless, but there's still 9 billion wires hanging off the back of it. Okay, now what we're going to do here now, there's a lot of ways. There's tons of ways that you can actually take and remove color and change colors. I always like the hue and saturation tool. I've been playing with it for years, and it just seems to work for me for a lot of different reasons. So we are going to go to Enhance, Adjust Color, Adjust Hue and Saturation. And I showed you this a couple weeks ago, and if you didn't see it, go ahead back and go back to my archives on Justin TV, and I also post all these on YouTube. So go back and dig around. You will find it, how to use the hue and saturation and different things we do with hue and saturation, and how we do, I think I called the one selected editing, or selective editing. And that's what we're doing here. We have her dress, but we're going to be changing the colors of that just to see, maybe it was a different color. Maybe we wanted to buy a different color and you didn't know what you wanted to get. So if you change this hue around here a little bit, move it. Look at her dress color is changing. But we're not changing anything around it. We're not changing the flowers. We're not changing the boy there. Her hair, everything else is staying the same. Can make it puke green. Can make it kind of a light color, right? Can make it a reddish color. And if you want to saturate it more, pull your saturation to the right or left. This is saturating more and more, or you can saturate less. I like to start somewhere neutral though, somewhere in the middle. And we'll go back across. Back into about where it was. Darker blue, real dark blue. You can lighten that up. Go with the lightness down here. You can darken it too if you wanted to see what it would look like darker. Keep going. There's a purple. And there's a red. There you go. Again, you can saturate it up or you can desaturate it some. All right. Now, if you drop the saturation all the way, what do you have? Black and white, right? I want to do that. Again, we can make it a little lighter. Maybe you want to make it a light red. Okay, you guys get the idea. You guys and girls out there watching, I'm sure you get the idea of how to play around with the color. So that's how you would do that, and that's how you would find out if you like a different color. We're going to cancel it though and put it back to the original color. And then we will go to select, deselect. We will get rid of all the selection right there all together. Okay, the question was, do I do Photoshop all the time? There's somebody in the chat there. You guys can see that. I don't know what you're asking. I mean, this particular show, yes. Most of the time it's Photoshop Elements. I also did an iPad Weekly show on this channel, as well as a Technoman, but I haven't had time slots for those yet. Sunday morning at 10 o'clock is for Photoshop Elements. That is correct. And by all means, now's a great time if anybody wants to call in. Let's bring up the number here. It's 724-701-0911. If you wanted to call me there, you can just pick up your cell phone and call that number. Or you can Skype to Jack's Tech Corner. Love to get you in here. Love to get your questions up on the air as we're doing these videos. It's always a great time to talk Sunday mornings here. And be able to see what's going on. So anyway, other than that, you can see that this is the photography I've been doing. I don't know what you guys have been shooting lately. I do ask you go over to my Facebook page. The fan page is Jack's Tech Corner also. And if you have a Facebook account, click on there and join the group. And then what we like to see is post some of your pictures up on there. We'd love to see your work and see what you're doing. I was wondering how to put a picture in text. Okay, somebody wanted to put a picture in text, and I meant to find that this morning. So we're going to go back here. Just a minute here. And let me see. I know I did that video already. I just want to let you know where it's at. Let me just pull it up here. And we will get you going. Okay. I'm going to just go back through my video. And a lot of people don't realize this. On YouTube, I don't know how a lot of you find the YouTube videos, but it seems like people do email me a lot and say, Jack, did you do this? Do you have this? Do you have this? And what you need to do is just go to these videos. You can go back through the archives is what I call them. But I have videos that people still watch that I did 3 or 4 years ago. So there's tons of videos on here. And the particular one you are looking for, I just have to try to remember where it is. or what it was called. And I know it was a while ago. I'm just trying to figure it out here where it was for you guys. I think it was called Picture in Text, if I remember correctly. If anyone wants to do some searching on that, Picture in Text, I think it was. I'm not real sure. And like I said, there's so many of them out there that actually did a while back. So blurring. Yeah, even if I can remember where it was at, it would be nice. Anything I'm going to do here is I am going to try to search my uploads here. Picture in text. There it is. Okay, Photoshop Elements using a picture in your text. I'm not going to play it, guys, but you know what? I'll let you go play it. I am going to try to post this in the chat room here. I don't know if this will let me do this or not here. Let's see if it'll go, and you can definitely find out. There you go. Very easy how to do picturing text. Let me know. Maybe you'll stick around, watch this live show, and then after the hour, let me know how that goes for you, and if that is exactly what you're looking for. But I believe it is. I seen that a while back. I seen that effect quite a while back, and I thought, wow, I could probably do that. And I sat around one afternoon and thought about it and figured it out for myself on how to get that back. Okay, the next thing I want to do here is we're going to do this viewer's question. Let me bring that up. It says, I viewed your video called Reflection and enjoyed it very much. My question is, how would I do a water reflection? I would think it would be a very interesting video to make. Keep up the outstanding videos. Thank you, Dick. Well, Dick, I appreciate you writing in by all means. And hey, man, I'll keep doing the videos as long as you guys keep tuning in and watching and spreading the word. Especially spread the word now about Justin TV. You know, let's get some people in here. I know Sunday mornings are weird, but right now it's all different times all over the world. So we should have viewers from all over the place popping in here and pulling along with us and joining here. So we are going to look at how to do a reflection with water. But more so, I'm going to show you the tool that I did a while back. Or I think it's on actually. I believe the tool that I'm going to show you is a video that is on the DVD that's called Photoshop Elements 9 Volume 1. It has a ton of quick edits in there and how to use guided edits, a ton of that stuff, so you can learn all these guided edit tools. But what we're going to do now is we're going to go ahead and at this time at about 10:30, which is a half hour into our show, I want to go ahead. I have to break for a commercial break. It's 58 seconds long. I know because I created it and timed it, and I didn't want to bore anybody. And I know I hate commercials too, but it does help the show. So we're going to go ahead and throw that up now, and then I'll be right back with you to look at reflections and how to create a water reflection. Green Screen Wizard for all your green screening needs. From standalone software to plugins to the green screens themselves. Ken is the man you want to go to. Longtime photographer and programmer, Ken has pulled both of his talents together to create the easiest green screen processes. And one and one hosting services. Do you need a personal website, or do you have a business looking for a company with dependability and support, yet at a reasonable cost, not to break the bank? One-on-One does it all: websites, domain names, email services, and even remote servers. To order any of these products, go to my website, jackstechcorner.com, and click on the graphics on the left side of the page. Now, back to learning. Okay, very good. If you timed that, it should have been 58 seconds is where it should have been. Like I said, I try to keep those spots very, very short because I know I don't like them, and I'm sure, it's one of those necessary evils. I'm sorry. That's just the way advertising works. Okay, but we are back. We are going to jump back up here, and we're going to look at that water reflection using a guided edit. And I'm trying to figure out a good picture to use. I'm hoping, really hoping that this picture here will work. I seriously got to find another chair for this desk, but hey, it is what it is. So we're going to try this picture. I don't know how the water reflection is going to work on it or not, but we are going to try it to see if it will work. So let's see if we can bring it up here. So there it is. And if you remember a few weeks ago, I think we used this picture. It might have been last week. Now the first thing I'm going to do is duplicate the background image using Command J or Control J on your PC. Everybody knows that, and everybody hears that multiple times anymore, right? We hear that all the time, it seems like. Constantly, people are talking about Command J and Control J and all that stuff. So hopefully, we have that in our heads by now. But for the new people, I got to keep saying it, right? It's a good way to learn. So let's go ahead. We're going to learn how to do a reflection here. So we're going to go up here. Instead of right now, you're sitting in the full editor. So instead of being in the full editor, we are going to go and we're going to jump into the guided edit. And like I said, if you go to my website, jackstechcorner.com, you'll find there's Volume 9, or Elements 9, Volume 1 is the one you're looking for. And it teaches you each individual guided edit tool. Teaches you very, very well how to do each one of these. I go over every step. But we're going to go ahead and we're going to show you one today. We're going to show you the reflection. And like I said, it was brought to my attention from a viewer how this works. So, it's step by step. That's how these work, folks. Step by step. Hopefully, I'm going to turn this down a little bit there. It's a little bit too loud in my ears, but hopefully it's good in yours. Hopefully you guys can hear everything okay. All right. So what we're going to do here is simply click the button that says Add a Reflection. And, I can't show you this up here too. It says View an Online Video Tutorial. I don't like showing you that though because it's stepping on my stepping on my grounds, on my turf, to show you how to do a video online, right? All right, we're going to add a reflection. Let's go ahead and do that. We're going to add a reflection here. Look at that. So what happens is Elements actually works on it and does it for us. Now what we need to do is pick the eyedropper because we need to have the same color down here as we have up here. And then we'll fill the background. Now you can see it filled the background based on the color I picked. I picked the water. All right, so hopefully this is going to work out for us. It looks pretty good so far. And if you guys remember the reflection action that I showed you last week, I'm sure this is making a lot of sense right here. So let's go ahead. And we did the fill. So we did the eyedropper and we picked out the color we wanted. We filled the background. That filled this background down here at the bottom. If you can see where my cursor is moving around, where that eyedropper hit. Apply an effect to make your reflection more realistic. Let's do water. And what it's going to do is it's putting a blur on it. You can put a little bit of blur, a lot of blur, however you want to put that blur. Let's do about there. It is all personal taste. So based on however you want it to look. So there you go. That's how it blurs. Now you can adjust the reflection intensity. You can move this down. Looks pretty bad. You can move it up some more. Now when I'm trying to do that, what I'm looking at here, what I'm trying to work on is there's a line that goes right between here. Because if you remember the action last week, it actually made the same layer and we flipped it over, right? That's how we did this. But the action did all that for us. And this tool was doing that same thing. It made a copy of this. It rotated upside down. But it does a really good job of getting rid of that line in there. And that's what we want. That makes it more realistic. You can add some distortion if you wish. There you go. And then you can use the gradient tool, just like we did last week on the other one. I think it was last week we did that. I like to hold my shift key down, pull to the bottom of the other one, and you leave it go. And it just puts that little reflection on it like that. And there we go. Use the crop tool because we want to crop that down a little bit. There you go. Let's crop it down a little bit. And there you go. So that is a nice, simple, easy way to do a reflection, right? It's very, very easy and a few mouse clicks, and he was right. I mean, and I did show that before. But mainly last week was showing you how to do actions. I think actions were pretty important. So there we go. That was how you did a reflection. Hey guys, this would be a great time if anyone wants to call in and ask any questions about these first two topics, or something you want to ask about, something you want to see. This is a perfect time to do that. Right there's the number in front of you, 724-701-0911. Just give me a call and I'll be glad to help you out, give you some assistance. You can also use your Skype if you don't want to have long distance charges. You can Skype me at Jack's Tech Corner. Also take video Skype or video chat. And we can sit and talk a little bit about your Photoshop Elements questions. Okay, hearing no responses from the audience. Nobody raising their hand. Nobody saying, hey, Jack, I can use your help over here. We'll go ahead and get on with our next lesson here. And the next one is, I showed you I wanted to straighten another picture. Let me actually close this out. I'm not going to save that. Okay. Don't need that one either. And I don't need that one. Oops. Cancel. Let's go back to full edit. I think I'm closing all my pictures. There we go. Okay. What we're going to do now is show you just one more time on straightening. Now here's a picture. Obviously, this is what happens when you take your camera and you hand it to somebody to go take pictures for you. This is sometimes what happens. Let me bring it up. I'm talking about something you can't see it. That's okay. I'm still learning here how to do live shows. Okay, so here again, you handed somebody your camera. You said, here, go ahead and take pictures of the prom. And there's a reason why we did this. I'm not getting into it right now because it's too much. Crap. Sorry about that. It's too much local school politics, so I don't want to get into the reason why I say that. But I'm going to show you how to straighten this picture right now and make it a lot nicer looking, right? Because it's pretty crooked. You can also crop it a little bit. We'll make this picture look a lot nicer. And remember, everything is your eye, right? That's what it is. Click in here. I did a Command J once again, and we got that picture all set up and ready to go. I'm going to have to actually pick up a new, I think I'm going to need a new boom there for the mic. This one here is pretty wore out over the years, but that's something I got to look at. Anyway, that's for me to worry about. I'm sorry about that. Let's go back to image, rotate, and we're going to do it again, folks. We're doing the free rotate layer because that's how I like to do it. Let's straighten it to make it look like it should look. Maybe more like that. So they're straight. That's what you're looking for. I don't know what the person taking it was, but you don't want to take a picture because this is straight. And I would bet right now if you put a level on there, this is going near to far. I bet you on top of that picture right here, I bet you that is level. So now they're level. Let's go and click OK. That's going to transform that. That is going to leave us, remember, that's going to leave us with a little bit of, it could leave you with a little bit of transparency there. It did not. That's good. What it did was actually doubled up the picture here. If I take this off, it did. There's your transparency. The reason we couldn't see it before is because the background was still turned on and we're working with the layer. So it's still filling it in. So let's turn that off so you can see where you're cropping. Now let's go ahead and crop this out. Now you probably want to just get on them, right? With a little bit of the green, makes it look like there's part of them. Maybe don't want that much. Never take too much away from your picture, but please remember, and I'll say it one more time, please remember, never, ever, ever, never crop like this. Because what happens is, especially if you crop down here and you crop these guys like this, let's just say like this, where you would think that's pretty nice, all right? What happens is, look at the top of his head, right on top of that picture. Every single developing company I've ever ran into in my entire life does something known as crop print. I don't know why they do this, but when it runs through the printer, somehow it's actually cropping the picture to a certain point. And if you have it on somebody's head, don't leave yourself, a little bit. I like the rule of thumb. The thumbnail, the top of the thumbnail, if you can leave that much room when you're cropping, that should be plenty. Then if it gets cropped a little bit, he won't come back like this. If you can see that on there. And I have seen it. I've seen pictures like that in people's wedding albums because the wedding photographer did not realize how much they're cropping, and they make a big mistake. So don't you make that mistake. You say, yeah, Jack taught me. Well, if Jack taught you, then Jack's teaching you the proper way to do it. But we're going to leave this because I want to let people know, hey, how beautiful it looked at the Grand March and how wonderful it was. The Grand March, and I believe this back here, actually, believe it or not, was probably from leftover set from their musical. But hey, whatever. So let's click OK, and we crop that out. Now you can see it's perfectly straight. It looks really good. It looks real good at this point, and we don't have a whole lot of distractions in there. That is key, people. That's what you want to be able to do. You don't want to be distracted when you look at a picture. You want to look at the beautiful people on the picture. Okay? This being my nephew. And this girl here is one of our friends' nieces is who this girl here is. So it worked out very, very nice for them. Then we go ahead and save it out. We'd save that as a JPEG picture. And you're good to go. So that is how to straighten and crop and make it look beautiful again. And I'm sure you guys know how to do that, right? You know how to crop a picture, I'm sure. But straighten it out a little bit. Make it look nice. Again, when we take pictures, we go out, we take pictures with our cameras. And I know a few of you guys watching this personally, and I know that you have a very, very artistic guy. You have a very good eye for art. There you go. Anyway, so you know where that camera's sat at. I like to level a tripod slap the camera on a tripod and take really perfect square pictures, or portraits and landscapes. I like to get them really straight though. That way there's not a whole lot of editing. Now if you do weddings, as you know or may not have known, I've done quite a few weddings. If you do weddings, it's a lot of handheld camera action, so you don't always get that benefit of the tripod, and that's something to remember. Okay. I just want to see if everything's still running fine. And we'll get on with our last topic. Must be okay. Once we get it up here. Yeah, it looks like it's running fine. So, alright. Let me just pause this again. Okay. So if anybody wants to call in, now's a great time. Go ahead and pick up those phones. Ring in. This is not the Jerry Lewis Telethon. I'm not asking you to donate any money. I'm just asking you for your Photoshop Elements questions or photography questions in general. Shows are better when they're a two-way street. So it's always good to get you guys to call in here and hear what you have to say. Also, then everybody else gets to learn from you. Hello, you're online with Jack with Photoshop Elements Weekly. Who's this?
This is Cheryl.
Is it Cheryl?
Yes.
Hi, Cheryl. How are you?
Good. How are you?
Very good. How can I help you out today?
Good. Well, I was watching, you just cropped a picture. Now what gets confusing for me is when you want to print that picture, how do you know how big you can print that picture and still have good quality?
That's a good question. Here, let me, it's good you have your speakers turned down now so you can hear me on the phone and everybody else can hear
Yeah, you want me to turn the speakers down?
Yeah, well, you'll keep your speakers down. If you turn them up, I'll start hearing an echo. Yeah, keep them down, turned down.
You want me to turn the speakers down, correct?
Yes, please.
Okay, they're down.
Okay, very good.
Okay.
So you can still see your computer where you're sitting?
Yes.
Okay. So here's what you're going to do, and here's what we want people to do to actually save the picture so we know it's going to print at any size. That's what you're asking. You want to make sure it's going to print any size at good quality.
Right.
So, okay, so if you go to File, when we do a Save As,
right.
Okay, a lot of people email me because they make a mistake of doing a Save As here and saving it as that PSD file. A lot of, if you put down the thumb drive and take it to a local department store, you're not going to be able to print that off because they're not going to read, they're not going to be able to read a PSD file. Okay. So what we'll do here is we're going to change this format to JPEG. And let me stick it somewhere where I know where it's at. Go to Pictures. Under Pictures here, I keep a folder called Edited. And I'm sure you can do the same thing on Windows. This just happens to be a Mac, but it works the same way. And I'll just name it Cropped. That looks good. We'll just name it Crop. Okay, we'll leave it go at that. So let's hit Save. What it's going to do here, and you said your first name is Crystal, is that right?
Cheryl.
Cheryl. How do I get Crystal of that? I don't know. Okay, Cheryl. So what you're going to want to do here is matte would be none, but the quality, run this quality all the way up to quality of 12. And what it's going to do here is make the file size very big. It's 2.4 megabytes. Okay. But if you keep it at maximum, I tell people to do that because then when we go to print that picture, you can print it any size and it's going to be very good quality. As long as you start off with a good quality. What kind of camera are you using?
Well, a Nikon D7000. So it's
that's the cream of the crop there.
I like it. I just got it actually. I've had it about a month, so I'm playing with it, trying to learn that.
Oh, that's wonderful because I was actually looking at that camera thinking, well, I need to buy that. I'm using the D80 right now, so
yeah.
But the 7000 is really a nice camera, so you'll be fine. Because the megapixels that you're shooting with are high enough, and that's the where people get stuck at. Because people say, well, Jack, why do you need a more megapixel camera? I mean, and the main reason is for editing your pictures, right? Because you want to make it, say if you have just say for instance, a 2 megapixel camera, and you crop it, what you're doing is you're cropping detail out of that picture. So then you're losing quality is what you're doing.
Right.
What does your camera shoot in? Is that 12 megapixel now?
Actually, I think it's 16.
Okay. So 16 megapixel, you can pretty much crop anything you want out of there, and it's going to be absolutely fine.
Going to be okay.
You're gonna have great detail. It's never going to be pixelated, and you can take those pictures and print them off to poster size, and they're going to look perfect.
Oh, okay.
So, okay, sure.
Well, I think if you're supposed to have like 240 pixels or whatever in order to have good quality pictures. Isn't that what they say?
Well, yeah.
When you're okay.
Yeah, you're gonna have a lot more than 240 pixels on that picture, so you're gonna be fine.
Okay.
Okay, so is there anything else I can help you with there?
No, but I enjoy watching you on this. So thanks a lot.
Good, good. I hope it looks okay, and I'll talk to you next time.
All right. Okay. Bye bye.
All right. Bye bye. Okay, very good, folks. Again, that was Cheryl. And if anybody else wants to call in again, we are here for you to call. So you can just pick up that phone and call the number. Let me bring it up again here real quick. 724-701-0911. Like I said, that works with the cell phone. Or you can Skype me. I've never had anybody Skype in yet with a video camera and want to be up on camera with me there and talk about anything. So we can always do that. But we're going to go ahead here. We have about 8 minutes left of the show. It's always a sad time of the Sunday because you wrap up. Then I do some editing here to put this on YouTube. But I want to go ahead and do the last picture with you because this is a picture that I get a lot of questions about. This is actually taken by my son a couple weekends ago. Actually, it was on Mother's Day. And I keep doing that. Let me bring it up here for you. Again, this was taken on Mother's Day. And there was a couple things wrong with it that I wanted to clean up, and I wanted to show you how to do this. And let me make sure that it's not edited. Oops. Let me make sure here. Revert. Okay. The first thing I get a lot of questions about is, Jack, what about reflections in glasses? Because it happens. Even though if we use a great flash and we're shooting our flash up on the ceiling, we're doing everything we're supposed to do, sometimes the way a person's head is turned, you're going to actually get reflections. Just a necessary evil of photography. The one thing you won't get if the flash is not directly at their eyes, you're not going to get red eye. So that's a bonus. Either one is fixable. That's what I'm telling you. Okay. Let's go ahead and take a shot at this picture. So this picture, as I said, was taken on Mother's Day. That is my great mom, who I tell her she's 85, but I think in reality, pretty sure she's 75. 75? 74? 75? I think it's 75. If I'm not right, and Mom watches the show, she will call me and definitely let me know. So let's go ahead and get started here. The first thing we're going to do is, I noticed right away, as all my pictures today are very crooked. So we're going to straighten it again. And folks, if you want to, you don't have to do things my way. You just have to do it the way that makes you comfortable. I'm just here to guide. So you can do this straighten image, or you can do this straighten and crop. You can click on that like so, and it's going to give it the best guess of what's straight. Not too bad, right? There you go. So it's not too bad. It threw it straight, and you can see here where it throws the purple into the background. That is the part you have to crop off. Let me edit and revert. Bring it back here. Or you can just simply go to Image, Rotate, and do a free rotation layer. First, do the Control J or Command J. Work on that layer there. Shut this layer off. We're going to rotate. Okay, let's go ahead and do free rotation layer. You guys will be able to straighten pictures out today. I guarantee you that. By the time we're done, you'll be like, wow, I can straighten these pictures out. And again, it's by your eye, okay? It's nobody else's eye. I say the rule of photography is, and even when I teach my classes, the rule of photography is most people that look at your pictures, why are they looking at them? Because they weren't there. Is that correct? So if they're not there, they don't know how that picture was taken. They don't know what was in the picture, so they'll never realize what is no longer there. So you can fix it. And then who is the perfect photographer? You are. Absolutely. Perfect photographer. So we have that straightened out. The next thing we're going to want to do is crop off some of that. And for this demonstration, I'm going to get right about there. Pull this down. And crop. Okay, so now we have it straight. We have a little piece here that's not filled in, but that's okay because you know what? You can use your clone stamp tool and you can throw a little bit in there because it's a solid color anyway. Alt key. I just go over that a couple times there. It's filled in. Boom. Real easy. Okay. Now what I wanted to show you was, remember, people are not there. So if people are not there, you can do whatever you want to with your picture because they didn't see it to begin with. What I mean by is this little thing up on the wall. I guess it's probably a emergency lighting or something in my mother's building. I'm not sure. But I don't like it. It takes away from the picture. My eyes are directed up there. I was like, what is that box? So again, do an Alt. And you might be able to make this bigger. And you could just kind of cut that out, right? Like that. Gone. Okay, now we don't have to worry about it anymore. When you get over here to multiple areas like this, okay. When you get over to multiple areas like this, it's harder to get the stuff in here. Keep losing my Skype on the computer. I know there's a new version out. I know it was sold by Microsoft or sold to Microsoft this past week, and I'm sure they don't want you using their old version anymore. That's why mine keeps crashing. Pretty sure anyway. It keeps telling me there's a new version. We're gonna update later. Okay. So anyway, when you get into multiple things like this here, we got to take our time. And the reason I'm saying that is you can get that out of there. But the trained eye looking at your picture for something not quite right. In other words, if this little crease on this curtain does not go all the way up, they're going to see it. And this curtain over here, you want that to go like that. Okay. Then the middle has nothing, so you want it to be nothing. Like that. But over here, the flower is on the white. We're just going to go over that. And you're going to have to make it smaller because, as I said, it will pick up stuff around you. Just get right over that. So at that point, just make it a little smaller. In here, let's make it go through there. And there we go. I'll just blend it together and make it, like I said, nobody was there to see it. We'll just blend it together. Okay. Now you can undo that too. You can just pop that out and undo that little piece right there. We're going to blow it up a little bit and have a look at it. Never be afraid to use the magnifying glass, right? That's what it's there for. Clone stamp here. I'm going to just get right up over that. And there we go. Make it a little smaller and go right back over it. So there you have it. I go to view, fit the screen, and there you go. Now it's cleaned up, it's straight. And that's all I wanted to show you there was how to do that. But the other thing you got to see here is how do I get rid of glare in glasses? So many people ask me that. Hello, this is Jack with Photoshop Elements Weekly. Is this Jim?
Yeah, this is Jim. I've been trying to watch your movie and program today, and anyway, all you get is a blank screen.
Hit the refresh button on your browser there, Jim. You should be able to bring it up.
Okay. I got a problem with Elements 9. When I'm extracting a picture, a section of the picture out and like that, and I bring the background in to put it on, that I can't get the picture to move over into the background to set it and make it permanent. And I run into this all the time with mine. I'm wondering if it's the program or what's wrong with my why I can't do it.
Okay, so you're pulling a selection out. Is that correct? You're pulling a selection and you're trying to put onto a new background?
Yes.
Okay. Did you happen to bring up the viewer now? Can you view the video now that I'm producing? Are you on Justin TV now?
Yeah, I'm on. I see you with a woman.
Yeah, that's my mom, so that's good. That's good. You see me with my mom there. So we're gonna go ahead and do an extraction, and I'll go ahead and show you how to do this. Is that all right?
Okay, I sure appreciate it.
Okay, Jim. So just hang in here with me, and we'll just walk through this together. So what's going to happen is you're going to make your selection, which I'm sure you know how to do already. You said you've been doing that.
Yes.
We will go ahead and just try to select my mom here. All right.
Okay.
Now let me get through here, and I'll get her selected. I'll clean this up a little bit. Jim, can you turn your speakers down? I'm hearing a little bit of an echo there with you.
Is that better?
Let me talk here for a minute. Yeah, that's great, Jim. Thank you. Okay, so we have a selection. So what we're going to do now is we're going to go up and click on Edit and then Copy. Because you're going to copy that selection right here. This is what you're copying out, all right? Got that so far?
Yes.
Okay. Now, so if I'm going to use a new background, let me grab one here because I think this is what you want to do. And I want to make sure I can duplicate this the best I can for you to see how it works. Let me grab something here. Just trying to grab a picture here to put mom on. Probably work just about anywhere in this thing. We'll just use this one here, bring us up in an editor. Okay, so at this point, Jim, you would bring up your background. Okay, so the background is up at this point. And what we're going to do now, Jim, all you got to do is go up to Edit and then Paste. And it's going to paste that person you selected that you copied, and it'll paste it right into the new image. And then all you really have to do at that point, you can just resize them. And always pull on the corner here.
Okay.
Does that look all right?
Right.
And then I'm sure you'd probably use a better background to make it more realistic than what this one is.
Yeah, it looks great.
But
I was doing one about a month ago, trying to do one. And anyway, I got a picture halfway. Yeah.
about halfway where?
Onto it, and anyway, it disappeared. And when I refound it, halfway onto the background, and then the picture disappeared. The selection disappeared.
Okay. You know, I know what you're talking about. That's happened to me before. What's happening is sometimes, let me see if we can do this here. Maybe I can show you how this works. I'm going to delete this layer, so I'm taking that off. Sometimes the picture we're pasting onto the background is bigger. Sometimes it's a lot bigger than the actual background. Let me see if I can get this up twice. Let me close one of these. Okay. So instead of doing this, I'm going to, just for demonstration purposes, I'm going to select the whole picture. So I'll deselect this. I'm going to select the whole image. I'm going to copy this. Okay, like we did before. Copy. And here's my new background. Edit, and we're going to paste it. But sometimes what happens is this picture will be something like this. Okay, so you're right. Your background just disappeared. You don't know where it went. Is that what you're saying? You can't see it. Does that make sense, Jim? You can't see it? Hello, Jim. I didn't lose you, did I?
Well,
Okay.
what I was doing, I was dragging it. Yeah,
Okay.
it makes sense, but that isn't what happened. I was dragging it over from the panel.
Oh, you're dragging from down here on the bottom. You're dragging it from the project bin up. Is that right?
Yes, and anyway, I got it halfway up. Right. And I got it halfway up, and anyway, then the picture just disappeared.
I don't even know if you can do it that way, can you? Let's see. If I pull it up and leave it go, yeah, I guess you can. It's there. Now on this one, if you wanted to do something like this, we showed a tool last week about the layer mask. You can also do a background eraser on this. You can just start erasing away from it too. If the selection is too hard, a lot of people have trouble with the selections. You can also do it that way. Let's make this a little bigger just to... So all you're doing is erasing the background of the top picture, of the top layer here, but you're leaving the stuff behind. And you can get that same kind of effect we had before, that we cut out and we moved the pictures around. Again, this is just fast here for demonstration purposes, but you'll get the idea. And at that point, that's exactly what I did, what you were talking about. I drug it out of the bin and pulled it up. And the only thing I can say, Jim, like I said, just be careful that the picture you're putting on top of your background, it might be bigger than the background. So there you go. Just another nice way to throw that in there. You gotta look for every little crevice you want to get rid of.
Oh.
Okay?
Yeah. Okay, thank you very much.
Okay, Jim. Hey, thank you for calling in, and I hope you keep watching, and I hope we get you back here next Sunday. And you have a good afternoon.
Okay, Jack, thank you very much.
Okay, sir. Bye-bye now. Okay, very good. It's always great to get those phone calls there and to be able to help you out. The biggest thing I can tell you, Jim, is take your time. You know, that's the key element with all this photography editing stuff. Just take your time, walk through it. Believe me, I didn't learn it overnight. People said, Jack, you must have been working with that for years and years to get that thing right. I can tell you one thing I didn't do. I mean, I might have picked up a few guides to get started, but I didn't read that many books on it, because Photoshop is more playing with it, and there's still stuff that I have to learn. I've been doing it since version 1, so take your time with it. The last thing I wanted to show you here before I wrap up, I know we're running over a little bit. I don't mean to be keeping anybody from anything. I just wanted to show you on this last one, we're going to deselect this, on how to get rid of glare in glasses. Let's go ahead and use your magnifying glass. As I said, we're getting rid of glare in glasses. It's a bad, bad thing, right? Let's go ahead and pull this up. And you're just working on the glasses. And what you're doing, it's very gentle clone stamping. Or, like I said, you can use this tool here, the spot healing tool, whichever you're more comfortable with. Pick up a little sample here. And you're just toning it down a little bit. And I'm sure women understand this even more than men. It's almost like if a woman's taking and doing some eye makeup. They're just toning down their highlights is what they're trying to do, right? So, and I like to go over the rim of the glasses here. And get right over here. Get right here. So just take your time, go through this step by step. Any place that you can see a highlight, like I was saying, that's the place you want to work on. And just like this. As you see, it's getting too closer, so you're starting to get, if you can see that, you're starting to get two pupils, so you're getting too close to it there. Then what I like to do, once you get all the highlights knocked down, is go back to view and then fit the screen. And now you can see we got rid of a lot of that glare. But just take your time, and if you work with that picture close up to you, and as we talked earlier with Cheryl about high megapixel cameras, you will be able to use that high megapixel advantage to your editing, because you can actually work and actually clear things up. And when you blow that picture back out or lay it back out onto the screen, it's not going to look bad at all. And what I mean by that naturally is when we do this, when we pull this up, you know, you can see things like, oh, we touched here and we touched around her eye and stuff like that. But when you view it the screen, you put it back to screen, you're not going to see that. And if you print this off as an 8x10 or 11x14, you hang it across the room, and nobody's going to see that. You know, so that's the whole mission, is for nobody to see what happened, just to clean the picture up. So that should be about it. We should be wrapping up now. Again, everybody, thanks for calling in today. It was great to get the feedback. That's always makes the show a lot better, is to get some interaction between you guys and see what you want to know. And it helps other people learn, so you can't beat that. And thanks for keeping me straight. You know, when you can't see something on the screen, by all means, pick up the phone, dial that number, say, Jack, something's not right with your stream. But at least we didn't lose audio this week. I don't know if you guys watched last week's show. We lost audio there in the first opener there in the beginning, but it seemed like we were good all the way through for this week's episode. So, hey, if you have any questions through the week, if you're playing around with your Photoshop elements, you say, geez, I don't understand that, drop me an email. It's another great way to get in touch with me through the week. I answer them all week long. It's jackstechcorner@gmail.com. I can definitely help you out. As I said, I'm looking for other ways to bring other shows online. I don't know what people are looking to learn. I know Photoshop Elements has been a hit ever since I've done it in 2008. I know you guys love to do photography work and love to do editing. I don't know how many people out there have iPads. or a weekly talk show just basically answering computer questions. So I don't know if it'll work or not, but please, if you're not followed yet, click the little follow button, create a little Justin TV account. It's free, and then click the follow button under my name. That would definitely help out with this show, and it just shows me that more people are watching or following along with what's going on. Again, this show will be highlighted later today on Justin TV. If you need any repeated information, just go back. I call it my DVR of the tech world, right? It's great. It's sitting there. It's pre-recorded. Also, I'll clean it up. I throw some edits in there. I'll take a couple pieces out now since we redid like the glare of the glasses. I will take that out and I'll edit it all together and I'll throw that up on YouTube. So it'll also be on there for you to see. It'll be available on YouTube and Justin TV. You can also download these now on to your iPad and iPod Touch and iPhone, because believe it or not, it is now on iTunes. So it's on iTunes. You'll find it. Go to iTunes, go to the store, type in Jack's Tech Corner, and you'll come up with these shows. So you can also watch them on the iPad or iPod Touch if you're doing them on the computer. There's just another way to see these shows. So there you go, folks. I have nothing else for you today. We'll take any last minute callers. If you want to pick up that phone and dial that number, it's on your screen right now. 724-701-0911. Or grab your open your Skype up there and Skype to Jack's Tech Corner, and I'll be glad to help you out. So like I said, we'll give you a few more minutes here. And hopefully everybody learned something today, and we can all learn more next Sunday. So next Sunday's show will be totally new. If you have any suggestions, please drop me an email. Let me know. It always helps me out to find out if you have a suggestion or a idea for a topic. I'd love to hear it. Plus, I like playing around, and I'll get it to work for you somehow. So until next Sunday, as I always say, keep those camera shutters clicking, keep the editors editing, and I'll see you back here next Sunday on Photoshop Elements Weekly. Bye for now.